If you're like me, you want the best out of VR. You want the best visuals, the best frames possible, but usually you have to compromise somewhere, either in size or in function. And if you ask a couple of different people, you're going to get different answers on what headset to get. So I took the risk and got the Dream Air. But before we talk about the Dream Air, let's talk about what started it all for me, the Meta Quest 3. This thing is cheap, wireless or PC VR, and it's easy enough to use. But how does it really feel when you're in the game? Well, honestly, it's not that bad. Gotta have a couple of thousand hours into this headset. It's really what made me fall in love with VR. But I can already tell where it's going to give up compared to the Dream Air. Comfort out of the box is pretty lacking, but once you get into a Bobo VR or similar head strap, it becomes much better. It starts off at about a 4 and gets to about a 7 out of 10 with the comfort. And one thing about the Bobo VR head strap is that it has rechargeable batteries, meaning you can play for long game sessions with just a hot swap, and then you're good for another 4 or 5 hours. Now, the next headset is the Valve Index. It goes from $850 to about $1,000 for a used kit. It has the same lenses as the Quest 2, and it's about double the weight of the Quest 3. This thing isn't as comfortable because after a long game session, sitting on your face, it does hurt your cheeks and your nose bridge. But the compression of the display port to the headset, I find, makes an almost better image than the Quest 3 does, even though it's a little bit older. One thing also to note is this does require base stations and knuckles, which the Pimax Dream Air Lighthouse version that I got also requires. This is what it looks like inside of the headset. And I just wanted to give you a reminder that at 500 subs, we're doing a giveaway. You made it this far? Please help me out. It's the best way you can do it, and it's always free. So overall, the Quest is probably better for most people than the Index, but the Index is still a very solid choice. Ooh, baby is finally here. It's finally here.
Do not attempt any of the stunts you're about to see.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Dude, the box is so light. Holy shit, this is light. Damn slam. Look at this beautiful thing. It's a little bit dirty from the factory. Hopefully it's not a used headset. But look at this thing, dude. Look at this thing, dude. It's so tiny and beautiful. Oh. Alright, get those cards out of the way, no problem. If there's anything specific that you want to see me review about this headset, or like any type of I know there's already been a couple of requests and comments on other videos that I'll get to in the next video, like photon latency, stepping from side to side to see if it lags, which I can tell you now it does not. Don't look at my cables. It's not for you. This is how you set up this is how I set it up with the pulley system, so that the cable is always above my head. I don't feel any warmth on this back cable. It's actually very comfortable, this headset. And this is where my light houses are set up in my room. So one thing too about the Pimax EVO, go to this link here on this Reddit page, look for the official Pimax support person, and then go to this Pimax EVO Play, download this. And then once that's complete, you go to SBoy 3. You need to get this driver and install it. One thing to note is make sure that you do not leave it in your downloads. It needs the file path on your PC. So put it in like your D drive or your C drive, whatever. And then once you've installed it, you open up the EVO Play. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong one. Hit EVO Play, and then open up the port. So you go open port mode, and then you can launch the SBoy 3's driver. And then you can just open Steam VR like a normal day and move on. I'm just going to quit out of that for now. Okay, and now finally what you've been waiting for, the Dream Air. Micro OLED panels, 3840 by 3552 per eye, requires PC, concave pancake lenses, roughly 170 grams, pre-order only, and it does require base stations. Here's a simple size comparison from the Quest 3. And again, this is what the required base station and controllers are going to look like. Me personally, I don't mind this setup. I really do like the knuckle controllers. They're pretty intuitive, even without the grip button, the little sensor, and the finger tracking is pretty cool. I'm very impressed with that. Here it is on my face. It's about an 8.5 out of 10 comfort. The one downside is, like I mentioned in a previous video, the back right connector, that's the fitted connector for the fabric strap that you're looking at here. It slips out very easily, even with micro adjustments. So that's definitely something that's going to need to be looked at further. Very light on the face. It's very comfortable. And this thing's just beautiful, man. Look at it. Look at it. Another cool feature is the Tobii eye tracking. And it has IR nodes all around the lens that flash at 120 FPS to get a quicker update on your eyes. So the dynamic foveated rendering works like a charm. One reason why I did end up going with this headset is because I already have a pretty crazy PC. I've got a 5090, I've got a 9900 X3D, I've got 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM. So basically my computer belongs at NASA, which is more than enough power to power this 8 million pixels at 90 frames per second. So one question that you may still be left with is it worth the $2,000 US price tag? Well, if you have the computer to match it, then absolutely this thing should no doubt be your next VR headset. But if you care about things like wireless, standalone, mixed reality, augmented reality, then no, this headset's not going to be for you. This is a PC VR only headset. They have the Slam version, which has cameras and inside-out tracking like the Quest 3 does. But I personally think that the Lighthouse outside-in tracking is superior, especially for fast-paced FPS games like I play. I'm not really huge into the flight sim and racing sim games. Really, I like the extraction shooters and the FPSs. But this is so crisp. This thing is so crazy, man, that any game you play would look amazing. Even in VR chat, everything looks realistic. Look, that's through the lens right there, too. That's insane. And here's what it looks like on the recording from OBS, the game capture. I honestly think that this looks more sharp than even the Quest game report did earlier in this same video. Let me know what you think down below, if you would buy this headset, or if you're just going to stick with the Quest. Or if you're going to go to the Steam Frame even, would be another good headset to buy. Hey, dance, dance, dance.